everyone, thanks for joining us on Go Local Live for the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. This week, Apple announced the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and iPhone 10, all the very fancy bells and whistles. So here to talk about all that is technology journalist Rick Broida via Skype. He's joining us. Rick, how you doing?
I am great, Molly. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. And so we wanted to get your insights, all your knowledge and expertise on all the new fancy dancy iPhone, on all the new things. So you write for the very popular Cheapskate blog for CNET. So I kind of wanted to get your reaction when you saw the price tag on the new iPhones.
Yes, I am the cheapskate. So needless to say, the new pricing, I mean, actually, it's only the iPhone 10 that is really exorbitantly priced.
Yeah.
And the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus really kind of slot in where the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus were. So they're at the same price points that iPhones have been for a long time. But now we're looking at $1,000 and up iPhone. And I just, it's interesting. It depends on who you talk to. Some people are like, oh, it's only a few bucks more per month if I'm leasing it, so no sweat. Other people are like, not in this lifetime am I spending $1,000 on a phone. So it's really, who knows? Something for everybody.
I like that you wrote in one of your articles, people talk about being house poor. Well, is this a new term called phone poor?
Right. Yeah, house poor, of course, is if you spend all your money in your house, you have no money left for furniture. If you spend all your money on an iPhone 10, you have no money left to get service for it. So it's just a paperweight at that point.
A very pretty paperweight, I suppose.
Very beautiful paperweight, sure.
Let's talk about what Apple launched. Give us some of the ins and outs of what kind of struck you if you were to spend all of your money on an iPhone 10 or 8 or 8 Plus.
Right, so in addition to the iPhones, of course, Apple rolled out the Apple Watch Series 3, which is, just again, a kind of an incrementally improved version of the Apple Watch. They introduced a 4K capable version of the Apple TV streaming box, which I think excited nobody because nobody cares about 4K TV, and I don't think even Apple is enough to get people to care about it, but, we'll see. Obviously, the big news was the iPhone, and obviously, as the cheapskate, I'm here to maybe make the case for looking at some of the less expensive phone options that are out there, because there are some very good ones.
Oh, definitely. I want to get your insight on I feel like everyone's talking about the face recognition. What are your thoughts on that?
Right, so the iPhone 10 has this face recognition capability. There's no more home button, there's no more Touch ID. I'm assuming you can still put in a passcode manually, but the big feature it has is this facial recognition, where you hold it up on the front-facing camera, recognizes that it's your face, and therefore that's your gateway into the phone. That's your key, and it's interesting. I'm very curious to see how it plays out, because I think one of two possibilities. Either it's going to be a train wreck and there's going to be all kinds of complications that Apple never envisioned. It doesn't work in the dark. It doesn't work when you're wearing sunglasses. It doesn't work because you got a haircut. They addressed all of this in the launch event, but I'm still not convinced it's going to work accurately. Or it may well change the way that we all sign into our computers, our phones, our tablets, and all of that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested.
Interested, but not quite sold on it, which I like your skepticism. I'm with you on that. I mean, and other companies have tried the facial recognition. Samsung had it, totally failed, because didn't they hold up a picture, and then, you could hold up a picture in front of their facial recognition. And there was another phone, I totally forgot what it was, but I don't know if it was a Moto or something, but they had facial recognition. It was fun.
Right, so this is not a new concept. Yeah. It's just, but when as Apple goes, so goes the industry, right?
Exactly.
So this may be the tipping point. Same thing with wireless charging. I think actually that's the more interesting development in all three of the new iPhones, is that they support wireless charging. And actually this is something I've been waiting for Apple to hop on for years, because even though it's a minor convenience, there's much to be said for being able to lay your phone down on your nightstand at night as opposed to having to reach for that cord and plug it in. It's a first world problem, but I'm glad that this is happening because this will absolutely catch on. This will be the way of the future.
So as we move toward wireless charging, how do you see that changing along with new gadgets and gizmos and things being built in? Because we're seeing, you know, like couches have USB ports and all that kind of stuff. Do you see now everybody building in wireless and adaptable chargers?
Oh, I really do. I mean, Starbucks already has wireless charging capabilities in some of their tables and some of their stores. A lot of cars come with a wireless charging plate or pad where you can lay down your phone if it supports it. I really absolutely think things are going to go this way, and it's probably a matter of 3 to 5 years before even the Lightning port goes away, and maybe even micro USB ports as well for charging. It's so much easier to just be able to place a device on something than to fiddle with the cord.
You know, so I have wireless charging on my Samsung, and I love it because one of the biggest problems I know with Samsung phones, or my experience, is the first thing that goes is the charging port, and it's a pain because I've had to get new phones because of that. So now to be able to just pop it down on that wireless charging pad has been phenomenal. But the other problem is if you don't put it down just right, you wake up in the morning and you have 5% battery power, and you go, wow, what happened?
Right, and so the other consideration with this is if you put your phone in a case, not every case will work. If it's too thick of a case, it won't make contact with the charging plate. If you have anything on the back of your case, for example, I will show you my phone. I have this thing called the Ninja Loop, where I'm able to put my fingers through and hold my phone very easily. Maybe you've heard of pop sockets, you know, these things that go on the back of the phone and they pop out for an easier grip. If you have that, anything like that in place on the back of your phone, forget wireless charging because it's going to get in the way. So these problems will shake out. I firmly believe wireless charging is the way of the future.
So you think Apple kind of struggled finally on that regard? They're finally catching up, even though it's already kind of been around.
You said yourself, you've already got it on your phone, but now that Apple's bringing it to iPhones, it will be a thing.
It will be a thing. So thank you for that. What are some of the other things? I mean, so they got rid of the home button. People are kind of about that. I love my home button on my phone. Some people are like, you don't need it. What do you think about that?
Right. Again, it's the kind of thing that people will just adapt to. You know, even the addition of Touch ID a few years ago took people some time to get used to it, and this is just a little bit different way of getting into your phone, and so that I don't think that's going to be a problem. Whether the entire industry will go that way and we'll see no more buttons at all ever, we'll have to wait and see. But things like that don't super excite me. I'm excited by the wireless charging. I'm moderately interested in the Face ID. You know, the rest of it continues to be evolutionary improvements to the product. There's, what more can Apple do other than building a hot fudge dispenser? You know, then I'll be excited. But right now, it's just like, okay, it's a little better. It's a little better. Nice.
But once it's a hot fudge dispenser, 3D printer, whatever,
right.
Exactly, that's when you'll get excited. You did write for Cheapskate. You did write, here are 7 things you need to know about, don't worry about getting a new phone. Here are 7 things you can do to improve the phone you have. 7 things to think about before spending all your money on that. I kind of liked the idea that you said, your phone might already be paid for right now, so just enjoy the one you have, right?
Well, we all of us, or at least all those of us in the tech industry, we get very swept up in all the hype of this new phone and gotta have it, and a new phone every year and whatever. And I really think that the vast majority of people do not need a new phone, especially if they have one that's only a year or 2 old, because we've kind of reached a peak phone place where you've got a big screen, you've got a fast processor, you've got plenty of storage, all the little extra bells and whistles. Sure, they're nice if you want them, open up your wallet. But for most of us, I'm still using an iPhone 6s Plus, which is coming up on its 2nd birthday, and I have really no intention of upgrading anytime soon because I don't want to drop another $800-900 on a new iPhone. And let me just mention, I don't want to give up my headphone jack.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think that you pointed out, that a lot of people either are like, oh, I can do without, I don't, but you can use that headphone jack for so many other things besides just headphones, right?
Absolutely. I know some people, still use it in their car to like jack into their stereo if they don't have Bluetooth, or even if they do have Bluetooth, some people just prefer a wired connection. If you use one of those square credit card swipers, that plugs into a headphone jack. They do have Bluetooth alternatives, but I'm just saying it's there. So yeah, I'm sad that Apple decided to get rid of that. I don't agree with that decision.
And that's why we have you to talk us down, maybe talk us down from spending $1,000.
Yeah.
just providing a little bit of expertise. But you know what? They might not always be $1,000, right? This is what you said. We can look for discounts maybe in the future, right?
Well, we can look for discounts in the future. In fact, just today I noticed that one of the many reseller sites that's out there that often deals in like used or refurbished equipment had a couple of different iPhone 7 models, which just until a couple days ago was the flagship model, in the $500, $550 range, down from the $700, $750 range. So already we're seeing last year's flagship for close to 30% lower than it was just a few days ago. And if you don't mind going with a refurbished phone, which might have a scuff, whatever, you can save quite a lot going that way.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. As we move forward, I don't know, maybe this has been answered before, maybe it's a dumb question, but what happened to iPhone 9? Do they just save that? Do they skip over it? I don't get it.
It's the old 7, 8, 9 joke. I don't know. I don't know. I think Apple still has room. They did the 10, and then next year they can bring out the 9, so they'll fill in that gap.
Yeah, okay. I kind of like, people were like, oh, is it iPhone 10? It's not X. I kind of like X. Maybe they'll do that next, right?
Who knows? They got all the letters of the alphabet to work with now.
Exactly. They just release a bunch of different projects and all kinds of different things. Rick, thank you so much for joining us. You can check out his articles on multiple sites, but check out his Cheapskate articles, his blogs on CNET, because he will definitely save you some money. And Rick, we always love talking to you. You provide excellent insight and always a bit of fun as well, so we appreciate it.